Tonight on To The Point, we discuss pregnancy loss leave. Now, did you actually know such a policy existed? Well, a company in Kenya has already implemented it. Listen, not just for women, but for men too, whose spouses experience a miscarriage. So let's get to know more about this, yeah? What is the reasoning behind it? And of course, as you see, To The Point is ready. Miscarriage, pregnancy, loss, leave. This is the discussion we shall be having tonight. It shall come your way shortly, but first, let's take a look at the highlights. Kenya Kwanza leaders call for patience as the state finds solutions to the cost of living.
There cannot be any gain without pain.
There's a fiery blowback after Nandi Senator Cherargei's proposal to increase the length of a presidential term from 5 to 7 years.
Atufikirie Ruto atatutawala miaka ingine 14, sahau.
Water CES Alice Wahome, EACC, and the head of public service clash over the suspension of Athi Waterworks CEO Engineer Thoita over alleged graft. We unravel the twists in the tale. And Nairobi County government calls for family and friends of 193 unclaimed bodies in various county morgues to collect them within a week or face an undignified burial. Welcome to the broadcast. We're glad you could join us. We invite you to engage with us on our social media handles at TV47 News on X, TV47 Kenya on Facebook, and my X handle is at Grace Kuria KE. Now, our sign language interpreter tonight is Rhoda Nyamai, and my name is Grace Kuria Kanja. Once again, welcome to the broadcast. Now, Nandi's Senator Samson Cherargei's proposal to have the presidential terms extended from the current 5 to 7 years has elicited mixed reactions among Kenyans and political leaders. Now, according to Senator Cherargei, the change would help address the country's perennial electoral challenges by allowing the incumbent more time to implement the election manifesto. Chichi Josephine kicks us off tonight.
In a memorandum submitted to the National Dialogue Committee on Friday, September 22nd, Senator Samson Cherargei wants the current law that restricts the presidential term limit to 2 5-year terms amended to 7 years in each term. According to the lawmaker, 5 years in office is not sufficient for the running of the government to implement the election manifesto. However, a section of Western Region leaders led by Bumula Member of Parliament Wanami Wamboka and Matungo Member of Parliament Oscar Nabulindo have opposed the proposal and accused the Nandi Senator of trying to return the country to the dark old times of dictatorship.
Hiyo maneno ya kucheza na term limit ya president, atufikirie Ruto atatutawala miaka ingine 14, sahau. Sahau, haitawezekana. Moya alijaribu hiyo maneno, tukakimbizana na yeye, tukafukuzana na yeye.
Hatuwezi kurudi nyuma kwa katiba ya siku za Moi. Mtu ni miaka yako 5, unakuja unaomba ingine, wananchi wakikubali kukupatia ingine 5, that is over.
The leaders instead want President William Ruto to caution Kenyans amid the hard economy in the country.
Na vile naangalia raia inaanza kuchemuka. Watu wanaumia, wewe wanasema Ruto aendelee kuongeza wa extend term limit kutoka miaka 5 ifike 7. Wananchi mnakubali hiyo?
This coming against the backdrop of spirited efforts by leaders allied to the ruling Kenya Kwanza Alliance to garner support for re-election in 2027.
Hii chariot wamekula hii kitu sasa mara mbili. Hii hao watu marafiki zetu wengine kinaichungwa amekula sio hata mara 10. Sasa sisi muache tu tujipange kama Waluya, tuonje tu hata siku moja jamani. Mimi namuomba ndugu zangu Musalia, Weta, shika kamba, sisi tuko nyuma yenu. Wakiweka, tunaweka. Sio ni sawa?
Let us not do any guesswork anymore. The situation is quite clear that Ruto has got the head start, and it is easier for us to work with President Ruto to the election of 2027 and then maybe you can talk after that.
Chinua Achebe said, a wise man standing on the ground will see farther than an idiot on top of a tree. Na sisi tulikuwa tumesimama kwa ground na tumeona mbali wala ambao wanazunguka wakisema mambo haieleweki. They will come back to their senses and join us.
Thank you.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
How I wish we
Thank you, Chichi Josephine, for that. Now, moving on, and the storm at the Athi Water Works Development Agency has triggered a massive fallout after the embattled former CEO Michael Thwita resigned. Now, he resigned after a back and forth spanning several months that began with a recommendation by EACC and the head of public service to suspend him pending investigations into alleged illegal and corrupt conduct in a procurement process at the Athi Water Works Development Agency. However, as things stand, the situation has taken a different turn, with politics now taking center stage in the water industry troubles. George Maringa reports.
The raging torrents of turbulent water have brought to the shore the recent behind-the-scenes drama at the Athi Water Works Development Agency. It all started on 24th May 2023 when the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC wrote a letter to Water CS Alice Wahome recommending the suspension of engineer Michael Thwita. The reasons given were to pave way for investigations into alleged procurement irregularities in the award of tender for the construction of Roiro 2, Karimenu and Kitui Matu water projects, which were under the purview of Athi Water Works Development Agency. Water, Sanitation and Irrigation CS Alice Wahome did not agree with the EACC's recommendation in her reply just 7 days later. She wanted more information on the case. However, after months of internal conflict, the Principal Secretary in the State Department for Water and Sanitation, Paul Rono, seemed to disagree with CS Alice Wahome in his letter to the CS, imploring her to take action on the letter by recommending the suspension of Engineer Thwita. The said letter by the PS, dated 25th August 2023, was copied to the Chief of Staff and Head of the Public Service, Felix Kosgei, and CEO of EACC, Twalib Mbarak. A week later, on September 1st, CS Alice Wahome, seemingly upset, pointed a finger to the PS, accusing him of quote-unquote allegedly harassing of senior officers in the ministry. The drama does not end there. The embattled former Athi Water CEO Thwita then accused the Water Ministry PS Rono of diverting 1.1 billion shillings allocated for projects in Murang'a and Kiambu, with leaders from the affected regions demanding answers from PS Rono. It took the hand of the Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service, Felix Kosgei, on Friday, 22nd September 2023, for Engineer Thwita to resign in what was seen as an attempt to steady the ship at the water agency. CS Alice Wahome, in her press statement a day later, on 23rd September 2023, stated that she has zero tolerance on corruption and sought to clarify that she had not failed to cooperate with the EACC. And now, the events have elicited mixed reactions in the mountain, with Maragua MP Mary Wamaua, who has accused Alice Wahome of interference. From CS Wahome's home turf, residents are up in arms over the perceived attack on their leader.
Badala ya kufanya kazi yako ya oversight, representation and registration, wewe ukaamua utaenda kupinga waziri wa serikali ambaye ulichaguliwa.
The political unrest inviting more leaders to weigh in on the matter.
Let there be substantiated facts first instead of relying on hearsay. On this matter of Engineer Thwita, let the whole issue be dealt with fully and investigations concluded. Then he can be arrested.
When all is said and done, what will be the outcome of the EACC's investigations into the water issues, and will the truth come out? Time will tell. George Maringa, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, George Maringa, for that. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has dismissed possible cracks in the Mount Kenya region over its support of the year-old William Ruto government. Gachagua reiterating that he is keen to ensure the region supports William Ruto's presidency for 2 terms. He has for the better part of the weekend camped in parts of the region, being among Kenya Kwanza's political backyard, rallying residents to continue in their support of the government, this even as there is a hue and cry over the cost of living. Let's get more from Moige William.
Sunday, the second-in-command was at Kagere PCA Church alongside a host of Kenya Kwanza leaders for a service and later a fundraiser. The deputy president spending the better part of the weekend in the region in what is seen as a fresh new campaign to consolidate support in the region. By his own admission, the region was experiencing some political divisions, dismissing them, however, as merely cosmetic.
We have no structural deficits. Our walls are strong. What we have are cosmetic cracks. Our walls have no structural weaknesses. That's the Mount Kenya region.
Gachagua could not ignore the response to the continued hue and cry over the cost of living and the rise in the cost of fuel. 2 issues that continue to draw criticism and blame on the Kenya Kwanza government. To these, while admitting that the government is currently facing some problems, the deputy president pleaded with the region to maintain their support, confidently promising that the brighter days are coming.
We accepted to a man to support President William Ruto for 10 years. That commitment is there. It's a decision that we made. And it was a conscious decision. And our own son, our own President Uhuru Kenyatta had a different candidate. Our own son had a different candidate. We sat down with these leaders and the people of the mountain, we said no.
Gachagua at the same time revealed plans to deal with the so-called cartels in the coffee and tea sector. As promised, coffee and tea are a source of revenue to a majority of farmers drawn from the larger Mount Kenya region.
This battle is not simple. It is not for the faint-hearted. It is rough. It's a delicate fight, but we shall succeed. We have a resolve to succeed.
William Ruto's principal assistant reminded his people of the political commitment given in the run-up of the 2022 general polls, that of full support for 2 terms of a Ruto presidency, the DP affirming his intention to see that the promise is kept. Moige William, TV47.
Thank you, Moige William, for that. Now, moving on, various leaders in Meru County are drumming support for Governor Kawira Mwangaza's impeachment motion. The National Council of Churches of Kenya has emerged as mediators, calling all elected leaders to embrace dialogue for the betterment of the common mwananchi grappling with high cost of living. A total of 27 members of Meru County Assembly have already signed an impeachment resolution to remove the governor in less than a month. Mike Kagwongo with the details.
With the political hate in Meru County ramping up again, calls for dialogue among the politicians coming from Meru church leaders are set to once again set the stage for the possible relief of the embattled Governor Kawira Mwangaza from the second impeachment attempt. This after Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua successfully intervened in the first encounter earlier this year. The Meru County National Council of Churches of Kenya on Sunday urged political leaders from the county to embrace dialogue to resolve their differences, volunteering themselves as mediators in the dialogue. Led by NCCK Chairman Justus Zibandi, the leaders urged political leaders from Meru County to avoid unhealthy, violent and undignified politics, even as they called upon the security agencies to investigate and prosecute those inciting violence in the county.
Cognizably, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 established a nation that is based on dialogue and consultations. We are therefore concerned that the cycle of post-election fallouts between leaders is implying that our leaders joined in coalitions and the partnerships merely to win elections but not to serve the society.
Recently, cracks in the county's leadership manifested in a verbal exchange between Governor Kawira Mwangaza, Senator Kadhure Murungi, and several local MPs. Since then, the conflict has gotten worse, resulting in Governor Mwangaza's bitter dispute with her deputy Isaac Mutuma, whom she claims is conspiring with other leaders to bring down her administration.
It is disturbing to see that political leaders in our county are engaging in actions and verbal exchanges that threaten peace and well-being of the people of Meru County. It is our prayer this should come to an end.
Meru County Governor.
Following a violent clash between supporters of Mwangaza and those in league with her deputy last Sunday at the Governor's Okolea charity function in Igembe South, Cabinet Secretary for Interior Kithure Kenteki banned further events of the outreach program. It remains to be seen what will come out of this new intervention. Mike Kagwango, TV47.
Thank you, Mike Agongo, for that. Now, the Nairobi City County government has asked the families and loved ones of the bodies of 193 people in Nairobi to identify and collect the bodies within 7 days, failure to which the Nairobi City County will seek authority for disposal. According to the statement sent to the media, City Mortuary and Mother Lucy Hospital have a total of 193 bodies that have not been collected between May 2022 and June this year. Now, City Mortuary has 169 bodies, where there are 163 male bodies and 6 female bodies. In Mama Lucy Hospital, there are 24 bodies that have not been collected. Of those bodies, 20 are men and 4 are women. Now, before those bodies are disposed of by the county government, the citizens are requested to arrive in those mortuaries and identify and collect the bodies within a period of 7 days. So we shall be having that story later on, but moving on, and President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza government has been urged to eliminate the 16% value-added tax on books published and sold in the country. Speaking here in Nairobi, the Kenya Publishers Association chairman Kiarie Kamau noted that the cost issue has gotten worse as a result of the VAT on books, making it harder for people to get access to necessary reading materials. Kamau said piracy has also become a big and ongoing issue for the publishing sector, as both publishers and authors have suffered greatly as a result of the unauthorized duplication and dissemination of copyrighted works. This, they said, has compromised the integrity of the literary ecosystem, which has essentially cost them money.
We as publishers do not suffer directly. It is the end user, because we load that VAT on the price of the book. So if a book was supposed to be moving at 100 shillings, we have to load 16% on it. And therefore, that teacher, that child, that school that will buy the book, will buy at an extra 16% of the price that we'd have sold the book. It's very difficult to contain the digital piracy. I always try to compare it with the Greek mythology of that dragon called Hydra, where you cut 1, 3 spring. You cut 3, 6 spring. You cut 6 more spring up.
This year, together with KPA and the African Publishers Network, and with friends and colleagues on the continent and from outside, we will build a rights market together, Pamoja. This rights market will open up opportunities for African authors, African publishers, and for the continent, for intra-African trade among all countries, among all publishers.
The chair of the Kenya Publishers Association.
Right, let's cross our borders now. And Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi has defended his country's enrichment of uranium to near weapons-grade levels, claiming it was a response to European states not living up to their end of the 2015 nuclear agreement that it was enriching uranium to 60% in 2021 following an attack on its above-ground nuclear facility in Natanz, which Tehran blamed on Israel. The move alarmed the West as it shortened Iran's breakout time to build a nuclear weapon, which requires uranium that is enriched above 90%. The International Atomic Energy Agency said earlier this month that Iran was the only country without a nuclear weapon that was enriching uranium to 60% purity. And in March, the agency announced that uranium particles enriched to 84% were found at Iran's Fordo plant. And France's foreign ministry on Thursday announced the release of Stéphanie Houllier, a French official who had been held by security forces in Niger. The advisor to French nationals in Niger had been arrested by the security forces from September 8th. According to the foreign ministry in Paris, Niger's ruling junta last month ordered police to expel France's ambassador in a move marking a further downturn in relations between France and its former colony. Now, Paris had said that the army officers who seized power in May in late July had no authority to expel the French ambassador. And mass burials continue in Libya after a large number of bodies were discovered in the aftermath of the deadly floods. Close to 4,000 people perished in Derna after heavy rainfall and two collapsed dams caused ferocious floods, and thousands are still unaccounted for. And to the world of sports now, KCB Chess Club continued their dominance over the Kenya National Chess Premier League this weekend after winning their respective matches against Kenyatta University Chess Club and Nairobi Chess Club in the league that was staged at Daystar University. KCB faced off with Kenyatta University Saturday and secured a 4-1 victory after Ben Nguku, Ben Mgana, Ricky Sang, Philip Singer and Gloria Jumbo won their games against Adol Makuch, Shem Aberi, Nihal Jeremiah, Nelson Likaya and Vivian Lucy. KCB extended their fine form Sunday afternoon after winning 4 of their matches and playing out to a stalemate in one of their matches against Nairobi Chess Club.
My game was quite engaging. So in Germany, we had 2 teams representing Africa. That was the KCB chess team. And we also had Team Africa that had players from different countries, Algeria, Egypt, South Africa, and so on. They were higher rated than us. So when we came to actually playing with them and managed to draw, that was a very big point for us. but we also played quite well because we started out at position 32 and we ended up at position 21. So we went up a couple of paces. So I think that was a big step for us. Good win.
And Mathare United claimed their first win this season after defeating Mulembe United FC 2-1 in their round 2 tie of the National Super League at the Police Sacco Stadium. Mathare United found their breakthrough to post an early lead through a penalty that was calmly converted by Mark Kadohi in the 19th minute after Timothy Otieno was fouled in the box. Kendrick Orenze, however, equalized for Mulembe United FC a few minutes later before Meshach Otieno scored the second and winning goal for Mathare United in their 81st minute. Other matches played in the league saw Migori Youth playing out to a 1-1 draw with Mara Sugar, while Vihiga Bullets also played out to a 1-1 stalemate with Dimba Patriots.
Pia kwanza ile tumefanya mzuri leo ni kufunga mabao. Because last match hatukufunga bao. So tunaona kuna improvement kwanza tumeweza kupiga bao 2. At the same time kitu tunafaa kwa nao pia ni kuzuia tusiconcede pia bao. Because our last match ilikuwa pia ni bare draw ya 0-0 but leo tumepiga bao 2 na tukafunga bao 1. So still tuna kazi ya kufanya.
Nimepoteza but madhumuni yangu ilikuwa nije nipate point 1. That was my plan because ukiangalia sisi as Mulembe ndio tumesajili wachezaji juzi. Game ya kwanza nilicheza na new players without any training. Today at least nilikuwa na some 4 days of training preparation kwa hii match. So nilikuwa nawahimiza sana tuje tafute point 1. Of which tulikuwa tushaipata, tena concentration kidogo tu dakika za mwisho hizo tukakuwa na lapses, tukaconsider bao ya mwisho, tuka lose game. But all in all mimi nashukuru, najua game yangu ya nyumbani